Most people think posting every day on YouTube is about the hustle, but the reality is you are rewiring your brain to believe that you have something worth saying. And day you are tired of negotiating with your potential is the day that YouTube no longer is a mystery and it becomes a mirror to all the possibilities of ways that you can impact people and make really good money. So I'm going to share why I started posting every day and why I recommend you should post every day, and I'm just gonna go ahead and plug it in the beginning of this video. But I am inviting a small group of people to post every day with me in 2026, and we are gonna create kind of like a container. I'm only gonna invite people that come to my masterclass. So the link is in the video description. If you are at the masterclass, you will get access to this like small group of people that are going to go on this daily journey of posting every day of 2026 along with me. So you're going to get audits, you're going to get strategy, and you're going to kind of see the almost like the behind the scenes and the process of someone who is committed to the journey. And I think when you get in a room with other people who are just as ambitious about their goals as you are, it's going to mess you up in all the right ways. So I'm very excited because I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, this daily video thing, it's not lonely, but it is a little bit isolating because there's not as many people that are as crazy, disciplined, and motivated as I am. So I think it's a beautiful thing when you can connect with others who have that same, like, it's not even hustle, just ambition and drive to be like, I know that on the other side of posting every single day on YouTube is a completely different life that I can't even conceptualize because it is impossible for your life to stay the same if you commit to this journey. Okay, so let's start there. All right. So let's talk about August 1st, the day I decided to commit to posting every day. I remember telling myself that I was going to try it for 30 days because I still wasn't sure why I was doing it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be worth it. And in all honesty, it's hard to commit upfront a year to doing something if you're not guaranteed the results. So it wasn't that I was results driven, but I knew that I had limited creative capacity already. And I think I was kind of burnt out creatively on Instagram. And so I was looking to YouTube as a place where I could stretch my capacity and try something different. I'm someone that is always going to be creating in some capacity. I love to share. I love to storytell. I love to bring people along for the random journeys that I embark on because I live a very, I was going to say random life, but I'm going to say unique. I live a very unique life. And I love to share the lessons, the journey, the wisdom, all of the stuff. But I don't always have the right format. And sometimes Instagram can't hold the world that I have inside of my brain. And it can feel sometimes limiting when you are trying to fit in, something very deep and intense and powerful into a 30-second reel. So I started to stop force. I didn't want to keep forcing myself to, I don't know, show up in a way that didn't feel like I was giving all that I could on Instagram. And so for me, YouTube was like, it was exploration. It was, yeah, it was just kind of, I described it this way to a friend because, all my friends at this point are on YouTube, which I love. I would say since the summer, I've gotten like 40 or so friends posting, some of them daily on YouTube. So it's really dope to see how much of a domino effect this is having. But one of them I was talking to through voice notes, and I was sharing with her that YouTube feels like a playground. And imagine yourself as a kid going to the playground and thinking about how do I build the biggest sandcastle, and how do I make sure I go down the slide at a very certain angle, and I got to do the monkey bars, this speed. And it's like you're a kid. You go to the playground to play. Like, why would you put so much pressure on yourself to perform at the playground? That's a space for expansiveness, imagination, creativity. And that is how I approach YouTube. If I forced myself to meet certain metrics in the first week, I would give up, I'd quit because there is no result when it comes to pursuing the process and an identity shift of who you are. I didn't want to just say, I'm someone that goes viral on YouTube. That's not the goal. I wanted to be and identify as a YouTuber. I wanted to tell myself that I'm a storyteller. I'm a creator. I am someone that shares her story, her life, her journey on the internet. And if I allowed myself to just embody that, then there is no way to lose because just by showing up, I win the game. So I knew that how do I make sure that I'm not being so focused on the metrics? Because in the beginning, that first week, I was averaging 20 views per video. And to me, that was like, I was like amazed. I was like, okay, who are these 20 people? And granted, they weren't commenting. So I was super insecure. I'm like, well, do I know them? Do they know me? Are they people from church? Are they? It's almost worse when they don't comment because it just feels like it's this voyeuristic journey. Like I'm spilling my guts out, and it's just like, 7 people tuned into the trauma dump. So it's like, okay, well, how do I get to know them? How do I get people to comment back? And I had to kind of drop, I wouldn't call it a facade, but this protection, this mask of like, well, let me show up a certain way so I am protected and that people can't criticize me or they can't say anything. And the minute I dropped all of that is when I started to actually feel connection and when people started to respond back. And yeah, now the comments, I can like wake up to almost 100 comments a day across 140 videos, which is it's amazing because on Instagram, even this was another thing that I kind of got fed up with. And this is no shade to anyone that uses ManyChat, but I'm a conversationalist. So if I see something powerful, I want to comment and I want to continue the conversation or I just want to add to the conversation. But if I go to leave a comment and it's flooded with people typing the one word demands to trigger the ManyChat automation, I start to feel like, well, this comment won't get seen by the author or the creator. So let me not waste my time. And so Instagram started to feel like it was losing the conversation and the social part of social media. So I think that's what YouTube has given back to me is it feels social again. And I'm starting to like memorize y'all's usernames, which might be creepy. But what's up, Tia? Tia, if you're watching this, you know who you are. But it's like I get to see people's like Miss Jones and I'm getting to know people even though we haven't met. And it feels so much more authentic and organic than Instagram, even though Instagram, people might have followed me for 10, 15 years over there. I feel like I'm getting to know people deeper and faster over here. So let's talk about a couple things, okay? Number one, the consistency will force the clarity. And a few of you have left comments asking, well, Glow, I don't know what version of myself I should be. I don't know what identity I want to show up as. Here is my 9 to 5. Here's what I do for, work. And then here's who I want to be in the future. And we're trying to like choose a lane and figure out which, yeah, it's almost like we have to know who we are before we start posting. And I offer that you will get the clarity that you are seeking from just showing up. You don't have to have a cookie cutter, clean image in the beginning. And I think it's actually more human for you to just have your first video be like, hey, y'all, so let's see what happens. Hey, y'all, I'm figuring this thing out. Hey, y'all, so here's what I do for a living, but here's what I'm trying to do on YouTube. And bring that human side to your channel. You do not have to be so professional that you lose your humanity in the process. And I'm mindful that, yes, you can be a professional and also show a very personal side to your channel. And I think with me, as someone who I'm a consultant for Fortune 500 companies, I work with 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs, 6 figure entrepreneurs as well. I do things that feel very professional, like speaking engagements for household brands. It feels like I have to be this certain version online because what if one of those, C-suite executives finds my YouTube channel, which is actually a very honest fear. But in the end, it humanizes me. It does nothing, it doesn't take away from the fact that I can show up on their stages and still deliver a powerful keynote. It doesn't take away from the powerful work that I can do behind the scenes. And my personality and my identity online is an extension of the work that I can do behind the scenes. So it doesn't have to be so compartmentalized to the degree that, oh man, like who 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 will they how will they judge me or what will they think about me and will this hurt my brand or business? Will my clients feel like I'm weird? And some of you even have like very sensitive careers where maybe you're a therapist or you're a family lawyer and you're like, well, you don't want to expose your clients and, HIPAA laws, of course. And you just want to be mindful of how much you share so that your clients don't feel like you're talking about them or spilling their business. And I think in that regard, you can then create a channel that targets other professionals versus other people that could hire you for the work that you do offline, if that makes sense. Okay. So that consistency, if you push yourself to post daily, you will get the feedback within a couple months that other people might take 5 years to get. So think about this. In 2024, I remember first starting like I didn't know what YouTube would be for me, but I did know that consistency was a struggle. So I said, for all of 2024, I'm going to post once a week. I had no end goal other than consistency. And so I got 52 videos done that year, posted every single week, did not miss a week. And that's 52 ideas that I got to ideate and practice and concepts that I got to speak through. This year, 2025, 52 videos, I got the feedback in 6 weeks. So think about that. 52 weeks versus 6 weeks. I get the feedback in 6 weeks that took me a year prior. And so now I can implement based on the data, based on the analytics, based on the feedback. I can change my strategy, pivot, evolve, adapt, do whatever, but it's so much more effective. And so this daily push, this daily challenge is not about some, hustle, grind, no sleep. It's really just you put yourself in the 1% of the 1% of the 1% because most people would and could never. That level of discipline, it makes you elite. Like it sets you apart. And I don't know about you, but I like to hang out with people that set themselves apart. It is very easy to do the easy thing, the lazy thing, the comfortable thing. And while I know seasons of comfort are necessary, if you are in a pushing season, which I believe 2026, listen, there's a lot of businesses, a lot of brands, a lot of companies that are so overwhelmed with AI and the advancements of technology that they're falling back. Meaning there's a whole lot of room for some new people to take up space and be the new it girls, it brands. Okay. So I see it as an incredible opportunity to like be the next thing. 2026 is reminding me of how 2020 felt, where there was just so much opportunity. It was really easy for people to make leaps and bounds in their career and in their personal brand because when there is so much chaos and noise, there's really only two things that you could do: lean in or back out. And most people are actually backing out, which is a dope thing if you are ambitious. Okay. So if you can give yourself one solid year to show up every day, like make it just a part of your morning routine. This doesn't have to require massive effort. And I was sharing in a comment to someone that I really only take 1 hour a day. If it's taking more than that, I'm doing too much. I wanted to create the most simple and sustainable process. So I have no external lighting. I have my phone tripod. This I'm shooting on a phone, and then the recording software is Zoom. No edits. I just download from Zoom. I upload straight to YouTube. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. Second thing that I want you to consider if you are wanting to post daily is that the momentum becomes almost like a spiritual discipline that affects every other area of your life. When you start to identify as someone who does a hard thing, you start to look at yourself different. The self respect hits different. The habits of other areas of your life hit different. And I talked about a few weeks ago, that I was starting this 75 hard journey. It's my own modified version, but it's 15,000 steps, 150 grams of protein, 150, 1.5 hours of active time. But it's a lot of movement every single day. And I'm on day like 55 or 56. So I'm almost at the end. And to do both of these daily challenges, one for my health and one for my business and creativity at the same time, it's like it 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 was almost easier to do both than focus on one because I know that if I take a walk for an hour in the morning, I could brainstorm video ideas or I can talk through, oh, how, I can respond to comments on my walk. Like the two go hand in hand. So you'll start to recognize that that momentum and that spiritual discipline you're building is going to spill out in other areas of your life and just improve your life for the better. Okay. And the final thing is that daily posting will help break you out of the loop of fear, the fear of being seen, the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of failure, the fear of no subscribers. The reality is, when you are posting daily, it is hard to zoom in on singular failures because you got 24 hours to try again. There is no video, like let's say a video gets 100 views, which could be considered a flop. I don't be like, oh my gosh, my people hate me. They didn't like the title. I messed up. I wasted a day. It's like, oh, let's see what we can do tomorrow. And it's so quick to get out of this negative self-talk because you can't harp on one thing for too long because the next day is here. But if you are posting once a week or once a month, you got 29 days to think about that video flopping and think about the negativity and the spiral that happens when you're not giving yourself enough opportunities to stay at bat. It's okay if you swing out. You're not going to hit a home run every video, and that's not the point. It's to improve your batting percentage. That was really good. I played softball. That was oh, geez. But yeah, overall, I listen, if you can't already tell my giddiness, my excitement for the movement of new YouTubers and storytellers taking up space, I'm just so happy and proud to see so many people setting aside their fear and their insecurities and saying, you know what? I see Glow yapping her mouth every day. Surely I can do something similar. Okay. It's really, I don't want to say it's not hard, but it is very simple. Like it's not easy, but it is simple. Okay. It's pressing record and it's pressing publish. Two buttons. That's it. The video doesn't have to be perfect. The audio doesn't have to be great. But all of the external things that you are trying to, go watch my old videos and see my bad lighting and my bad audio. I just pushed through because I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I was trying to build a muscle of consistency. In the end, it was for me. Like I'm always creating for an audience of one, first and foremost, because I want to invest in being a better speaker, orator, storyteller, all the things. Okay. So again, there is literally one ticket left for the masterclass this weekend. So if you want to not only get in a room full of and bit, we got, yeah, like 25. It's a dope room. I'm looking at some of the names. I'm like, these are some heavy hitters. Some of them are 7-figure business owners. So if you've never been in a room of millionaires, like this could be the time that you could do that. So I'm very excited because at the end of the day, all of us are just trying to do the same thing, which is advance to the next level, get better at telling our stories, and show up in a space that is different. Is going to stretch our capacity. Okay. So check out the video description, join the masterclass. And then in the masterclass, if any of you want to do a daily 2026 journey with me, wait for the masterclass to see that invitation. But I'm very much looking forward to it. Okay, y'all, if you don't know, my name is Glow and we make videos. What? Every single day. It's a pleasure to have you here. We are wrapping up the YouTube series this week, and next week we're going to be talking about friendships. I'm very excited about this. I think adult friendships, female friendships is something that many of us are navigating differently. So I'm excited to give my perspective on some of the things that have worked and not worked for me. Okay. So you can check out some of the videos that can also help you on your YouTube journey. And I will see y'all tomorrow.